Hi everyone, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I have some updates for you today, and I'm going to do a read a little bit differently than usual. If you're not familiar with me, I do readings and Twin Flame coaching, and I am a Reiki Master and Spontaneous Channel, and my email and my website are below, twinflames3344.com and at Gmail. So if you need anything, just let me know. Thank you so much for all your likes, shares, subscribes, and your comments. And please comment below if something syncs with you, or if you have something that resonates with you. I'd love to know. The energy today, let's see, today is, what is today? Tuesday, January 30th, 2018. Kind of a special combination of numbers today. And first of all, I'm feeling that the Divine Feminine is actually very calm today. It's snowing here today. And as soon as I started doing cards this morning, it just started snowing. It's very gentle and sweet. And it's not sticking. I'm feeling, for the Divine Masculine, like upper back, stress and a nervous stomach. Okay, so today's date, the 30th, first of all, for the 30th, is the Four of Wands. So that's the Union card. So it's all about structure and stability and union. The 30 is a 3, and 3 is all about coming together and expressing yourself. And just being a more open-hearted social person. It's the happy-go-lucky person who's always smiling all the time. And so with 0 in numerology, 0 is considered source or God power. So it's that strength behind the 3. And 3 is the Divine Triangle as well, which is the book that I use for numerology. It's actually called the Divine Triangle. It was associated with Pythagoras and the Pythagorean theorem, that the two sides of an isosceles triangle, the square is equal to the square of the hypotenuse. So if you're interested in that book, it's an amazing numerology book. It actually incorporates tarot, astrology, and numerology together to show you how they all work in sync. The day adds up to the 42. I think I wrote down that incorrectly. Yeah, it is the 42. 42 is the Two of Cups. And so it's very beautiful today. You have the Union and the Two of Cups. And 42 is a 6, which is love, family, community. It's the 2 of the feminine energy, or the connection energy on the inside, and showing stability on the outside. So somebody you can count on, coming off as responsible. But the overall energy for that number is the 6 of love, family, and community. So it's, the relationship, and then being responsible on the outside to create that stable family. And we have that along with the Four of Wands. So they're very much in sync. I have a lot of downloads between yesterday and today that I wanted to let you know about. Some of them may not be completely clear to you, and some may. If you get more information on something I tell you about that I haven't been able to pick up on, please comment below and let me know. I had, and this will be starting yesterday. So on yesterday, the 29th, and this was even before the 29th, but it was coming up again yesterday, was tidal waves. I keep seeing tidal waves. So I don't know if something is coming up or if it just has to do with the wave of emotion of the Divine Masculine, but I've been seeing it a lot. The one deck that I have, the Syrian Starseed deck, has 2 cards that has a tidal wave in it, the Knight of Cups and the Moon. And since we're coming up to an eclipse tomorrow about the Knight of Cups, I thought that was very significant. Yeah. Okay, so then yesterday morning, amazing. I was doing cards yesterday morning, and I saw a blue jay outside I have a big picture window in the front. And so I went up to the window to look, because it was a blue jay, as in the blue rays, okay? And it was amazing what I saw. So like initially I saw maybe like 3 blue jays out there, and initially like 3 or 4 robins. They were on the ground, and the blue jays were hanging out in the tree. You know, like they were governing over things, okay? And then I see more robins coming into the yard. And this one bird, which I only ever saw one, had a black and white coat. I'm not sure which bird it was. I have to look it up. I'm not very good at that. And had like a red-orange head. So we'll call him the redhead. Or red coat. And as I'm watching, more and more birds are coming into my front yard. There was like a ton of robins all over my yard, and then there was, I believe there's more than 3 blue jays, and then just this one redhead. Earlier yesterday morning, when I looked out the back window to the backyard, all I had seen was like 1 pigeon or dove, something like that, on the wire, and very quiet and peaceful in the back. And now in the front yard, where there's exposure, is all of this crazy activity. So now the red bird, which had a black beard and a brownish coat and crest, and there was a couple sparrows out there that came out there too, and a couple other birds that I wasn't sure what they were, but they looked different than the other birds. They were small birds. They came in too. It was like, you know, it was bringing out the individuality in the birds. The blue jays seemed to be the aggressive ones, keeping the others in order. And then the redhead was more dominant than the blue jays. The redhead would come in and kind of like mark their territory. So as soon as they came down, the blue jays would leave because they didn't want to be bothered. It wasn't like they were intimidated by the red bird, but it was like they were being neutral. And then a few robins on the ground, a bunch of them flew away, and there was a few left who looked confused because they were followers. They were looking, what do I do next? What do I do next? Okay, and that's when I saw a couple other birds. One was black and white, and the other was with an orange beak. And they were both smaller. And they were the last ones there before like all the birds just kind of disappeared from the yard. And I felt nauseous at that moment. But the blue jay was still there. They came back. So number one, I was getting from all these birds that the blue jays were the blue rays, right? And then the redhead was the, you know, the dark mother energy that's coming up right now, or the karmic energy. And and all the robins are the, you know, the 3D followers. And it was showing the neutrality of the blue jays, that they were definitely the ones in control of everything, you know, and they were each working independently. They weren't working as a group, but they were independent but together and being neutral. Whereas all the robins and spirits connecting with me were all the ground, depending on each other to tell them what to do. And then this redhead who was just kind of a bully coming in and standing in the tree, like, and owning it, you know, kind of like the emperor. So it was pretty obvious what it was trying to say about us being sovereign and independent. And but when I got nauseous, I decided to go inward and see what needed to be cleared. I do that under process where you feel the discomfort and you go under 3 or 4 times to get to your subconscious. And I see a green eye a lot, which is showing me, it's showing me a black hole, so the pupil, with the green energy around it, and to use the green healing energy to heal these holes. And then basically it shows me to expand it. So it heals the hole and then expands, you expand the green out and out and out until it actually gets more faded because it becomes more gold and white towards the center. And this is this healing process that I'm being shown. So when I felt some nausea coming up about the bird situation, I did my under process. And a lot of times when I do this, I can't breathe. I feel like I'm suffocating, so I can't even go under again because I feel like I'm not breathing. I can't breathe. So what happened was it took me into a past life that I already know about, but it expanded on this life. Because I was asking, what more do I need to see? I can't breathe again. And there's been a drowning, but which brings up the suffocation. But this was a different life that I already knew about, where I was a little boy in the Holocaust. I have a birthmark actually in the middle of my back, and I've actually been aware of this for a long time, that I had been shot in the back in the Holocaust as a little boy running away. What I didn't know were the details about it, and when I did this exercise yesterday morning, all the details came right up. And I saw myself in a soldier's arms, and I was struggling to get away from him. And I did, and I ran, and that's when they shot me in the back. And it didn't kill me, but the soldier came over, because I was just lying on the ground. It probably fractured, all of my spine. And he just picked me up and threw me in the pit. And I was alive for 3 days. And Spirit's connecting with me. So the bullet fractured my spine, but didn't kill me. And as soon as I see this, I cried spontaneously. Because what the birds had to do with not just what I was explaining to you, but in this life, the birds would pick at the dead bodies around me, because I was in the pit with all the other dead bodies. And I would study their eyes, the eyes of the birds. And there was one redhead that would try to pick at me because I was dying. And the blue jays would shoo him away from me. Or the blue birds. There were certain birds that would protect me or stand guard so the others wouldn't attack. So that was a big one. And that day, my green eye, I wasn't getting a clear green eye. I was getting a lot of gray and dark. And also, my friend Gina from Divine Intervention, she tends to burp when she gets confirmations and when things clear. And I've been noticing that I've been burping more. And actually, when the green eye was very dark, I burped as well, because this was a clearing of this life that I was bringing up. So it was still dark, and I was being led into the pupil, that this time I must walk through the dark to get to the light. And that's confirmation. And when I do my chakras and Reiki, I had noticed that the circles that I usually see had grown by 3 times the size that day, just like I had brought up before in my other downloads. So the red-headed bird equaled the karmic. And also, this was confirmed by the cards I was doing in the Syrian deck, the Ten of Crystals. The Ten of Crystals has a red-headed person in the card. And there was also a dome that I saw in the card that I'd never really noticed before. It wasn't significant to me, but it synced with another life that had come up for me the other day about being in Atlantis. The redhead is very, very persistent. So this dome that I saw had come up. I was actually trying to to just connect with my twin in the 5D, and I wasn't able to at that moment. It was yesterday or the day before, and as soon as I wasn't able to connect, it was like it took me into Atlantis, where I saw it wasn't regular fire, it was like violet fire, violet and red fire, like, and it was like a skyline of fire, like with peaks on either side, and then all across the city or wherever I was, but it was Atlantis and it was burning. So it was the destruction of Atlantis. And in that life, I had crossed a walking drawbridge through the woods, the tree-lined woods, into this huge domed building. And I thought I was going into this like abundant, beautiful castle. But when I got there, it was actually, I was entering through a cave, and there were like two struggling bodies on the floor that were really dirty. And then I was dumped down this hatch that actually was a hatch into the ocean below. I guess they would dump bodies there. And I usually cannot escape from this, but apparently I did, because then I saw myself outside, hiding behind these huge leaves outside this same place. But the dome in this card with the redhead karmic was syncing with that life as well. And it's the same thing that came up for me when I saw that life, was that I was clearing the relationship between myself and the karmic from Atlantis. So if you get anything like that, let me know. And yesterday I was also getting 39 and the poison apple. And this had to do with the divine feminine. And that the eclipse would be death of pride. I was supposed to have dinner with a friend yesterday, and I was wondering in my cards that morning, you know, what was showing for my friend that I was supposed to see that day, and I didn't really see anything. Well, they ended up canceling, but it was very interesting because it was bringing up dark mother issues and the light. And then I had a surprise visitor last evening, or late yesterday afternoon, which was a friend of my daughter's who came by to visit with me. And of course I ended up doing her cards for her, and a lot of childhood clearing came up, her own childhood clearing, and it definitely parallel with what's coming up for us as well. Not only your own children, but your inner child, the innocence of your inner child, the lack of innocence of your inner child, the immaturity, like in what aspects do you need to grow, and in which aspects of your immaturity do you want to stay that way because it's actually more pure and innocent. So I also had picked up for the Divine Feminine NAMASTE. And a mast is a disciplinary proceeding disposing of cases against enlisted men for minor offenses, you know, just to like clear it out. And it's, you know, actually a support system. And 9 minor offenses of impatience and passion came up. 9 minor offenses of impatience and passion. It was like the divine masculine, you know, if he's socializing, may casually drink and offer help that he then regrets later, and that's coming to justice, and that I got cold as ice as well, so the divine masculine may be coming off to some as being cold as ice. And also the flower daisy came up for me, and I want to tell you about a daisy, what it means, because that's very significant. Yesterday I also got cover up at the castle. 2 nights duking it out. Okay, so, and this is still yesterday. Coconuts came up. The number 23 again, and I'm now associating the number 23 with co-creation because there's a process I had gone through probably last year in defining co-creation. You know, was it 0 to 1 or 1 to 2 or 2 to 3? And it was actually the 2 because we're co-creating today together, the Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine, but the 3 is the actual expansion, okay, to get to the next level. And then you come back to 2 again. You know, so once you expand, that's the pain. Then you purge. You come back to just 2 again. You know, it's like going to your corners and coming back together again. Which kind of, I just said that. You know, 2 nights duking it out. Going to your corners, your separate corners. Like, and some twins do. You know, they go to their separate corners to heal their own pain, and then they come back together to co-create. And the co-creation is the 3rd energy, or the expansion. So I also got the 2-3 was coming up in a department 2-3, and it's an association with the King of Wands and words to feelings. So changing his way of being from logical to emotional. And again, it came up that he's opening his heart 3 times the size that day, and 3 deaths came up. I also got that he's been feeling insecure and jittery and wanting to rush in but stopping due to his insecurities, like an excited little boy. And that specifically Metatron is blocking him from trying to have affairs with the Divine Feminine, because Metatron doesn't want the twins coming together in that way because it creates blocks. And also, like a little boy, being excited and wanting to get to know someone but being shy or insecure, I was getting the phrase, you know, will you be my friend? You know, like a little kid would say to another little kid. And Spirit's connecting with me. And it was also interesting, yesterday I ended up clearing off the old wax off of my piano. So it was like, you know, getting down to the authentic layer. You know, we're pulling back layers that have been covering the authentic beauty. And for me, it's been 29, 30 years. So if that sinks for someone, let me know. Yeah, that was very significant. You know, I've been in this house for about 30 years. And the piano I have, I actually got from, in my first marriage, I was married to a restaurateur, and we had jazz musicians come into our bar to play, and the piano was from the restaurant. And I decided it was time to clear that energy. Because I'm not playing, I use my keyboard, I don't use the piano anymore. It's hard on my fingers because I'm a little bit arthritic, but so it's, you know, that's a big step after, you know, 30 years, really. Okay, so I want to go in more into my visit from my daughter's friend yesterday. It was really about her inner child and becoming, you know, a grown-up. You know, my daughter's going to be 22. She's just graduating from college this year. And it's about all of her and her friends, that transition. And, you all know how difficult that transition was, going from being a child to now everyone's expecting you to be grown up, but you're not quite yet. So it's a long transition from being a child to being an adult. And it was funny in the read because she was seeing herself more as the loving child, whereas the perspective of her was more of the, I want. I want money, or parents having to give them money all the time, and then needing to save their money more, and having a more responsible view on their life. Yeah, and the kids, feeling imprisoned because they don't have their freedom. They can't just spend money the way they want to, and learning how to deal with other people in the workplace in a more mature way, and not freaking out like a kid. So that was very interesting, and then it came into the same child energies that are coming up for the divine masculine and the divine feminine today. So, the daisy. The daisy will be the flower of today. And when I looked up the daisy, it's the Girl Scout who's in kindergarten to first grade. It's very feminine and delicate, but strong and abundant. And if you look at it, it's really pure white light with a heart of gold. And Spirit's connecting with me. It's such a flower of a child. It's so innocent, but strong. So don't let innocence deceive you as weakness. Because, the child is the strongest. They're new. But purity is strength. Okay, so then today. And the Six of Cups was coming up for me in error, so that might sync for someone. When I was, the day's day should be the Two of Cups, but I was writing down Six of Cups instead, which is actually the children in the garden. But Two of Cups, Six of Cups, it's still a twin energy. So it's about like the children in union. That's the energy today. I got today K9. So that's about loyalty. But it's loyalty to self. The Nine of Pentacles was what was coming up with that. So it's about your sovereignty, to be comfortable and happy on your own, knowing what you want, what you like, what makes you happy. And the Ten of Swords with the Page of Wands came up because we're clearing, again, childhood issues today. And that's the Page of Wands is that, excitable child. So it's about tempering your passions into inspiration as opposed to passion. Just like a child, a child has uncontrolled passion. Inspiration is the maturity of passion. It's all about the child and the divine mast. So then this mast came up again, all about support, divine support. And that was specific to the divine feminine. So this morning, as I said, it began to snow ever so gently as I called in God, Source, Prime Creator, however you want to refer to the love energy. And just as I called that in, it began to snow. That was really beautiful. sending me love. So the first messages I got this morning were facing each other naked, under God, indivisible, with justice and liberty for all. Or liberty and justice for all. Which had come up partially for me yesterday, but today it came up more fully as the twins, being naked under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The divine triangle. And then this came up, you are not alone. And this is a stone my daughter had found. You aren't alone. And she'd brought it home to me and put it on the kitchen windowsill, which is where it's still sitting, with the lamb. The pink lamb. Okay, how profound is that? You see the pink on there? And the pink tags? It's from Victoria's Secret. So the lamb, the little lamb. It's about the innocent, to protect the innocent. But be careful, because what you're doing for what you think is protecting the innocent may actually be doing more harm than good, because what you see as light and innocence is strength, where you're seeing it as weakness. And you're actually, and Spirit's connecting with me on this. Don't take the light away. The light is strength, not weakness. And that God has your back, or Source has your back, love has your back. Walk through the fires, free and unaware, and you cannot feel the heat or the burn with your heart open wide. Ground and balance. Be love and love self first. There may be some anger on the divine masculine side due to lack of growth, and there may be even sexual frustration, and him feeling bad for his behavior, because again we're bringing up the Page of Wands energy, that immature energy that can hurt other people. Okay, so I also got, when the divine masculine heart cracks, along with the divine feminine epiphanies, you create a 0 point. I got the dolphins are here, dropping white spheres or snow, which are crystals, in celebration, like confetti being thrown up in the air. It was like a celebration that the dolphins are here. It's a pure cleanse. Okay, so we're clearing the innocent, and that's why Daisy came up again as well, because it's such a flower of innocence. I got double death. It was like transformation of me and mini-me. And I got, at the same time, double down. So I don't know if somebody's gambling or just taking a risk in love. So purity in love comes to light. The divine masculine may need more money to manifest his dreams or the way he's perceiving it. And that the letting go of the karmic, who was seen as someone who they have a mental connection but no heart connection. But also, so the double death would be the death of the karmic relationship, but also the death of, it could be his first love, which may be his work or whatever his addiction is. Okay? So it's double death, double down, me and mini-me. And there's lots of exposure coming out, whether it's yesterday, today, tomorrow. It's that energy. and for the divine masculine, and this is actually for the divine feminine as well, to stop vacillating, stop going back and forth. If you think of doing something, it's about taking the bull by the horns. Stop dancing around the issue, and if there's something you're thinking of doing, and whether it's just like, me doing a video, just do it. Don't think about it. The inner and outer children watch as romance whips them into shape, seeing each other clearly and yet still walking toward each other with open hearts. And then I was getting build it and they will come again, but it translated into clear it and they will come. To defend your third party truth and passion, but clear the darkness around it, using intuition. Follow the star, the light. Love comes to twins finding peace as others watch it unfold, unravel. Hearts crack open wide at the eclipse, and messages of truth and balance arrive. A star is born, the North Star, like a diamond in the sky. It was referencing to seek the light. As you clear your wounds and Spirit's connecting with me, your dreams come true. Blast off. And I kind of saw a spaceship blasting off. That codes are embedded in our wounds, and to look up for even spaceships. I saw in the card like the inverted triangle, but it had like, the shape of the crystal, like that. There was an actual crystal in the picture, and then in the building there was two shapes in the building that were like that crystal, and then three above that. So it was like the reversed triangle, 3, 2, 1. 8 crystals. Why did I write 8? It's actually 6 crystals, but I wrote 8, so there may be a significance to that. But I was definitely getting to look up. And the reversed crystal is the triangle. This is the divine masculine triangle with the point downward. The divine triangle. I also got that the divine masculine equals the ith. So in my downloads the other day, I was getting 2-8 as 2 to the ith, like to the infinity and beyond. And today it was bringing up the same thing again, that the divine masculine equals the ith part. Like there was 2 of cups, and then there were 2 wands headed up. Okay? And 2-8 came up again today. And 2-3. And 3 sevens. And 7th. And in the number 84, which I don't get at all, so if that syncs for somebody, please let me know, 84. To be aware that there's so much light coming in for the divine masculine, it's going to be overwhelming for them. They're clearing Dark Mother, and Mother Mary's coming in for the divine masculine. Dark Mother, protect me energy, which the karmic probably also has those energies. And also for the divine masculine to clear always thinking the worst is going to happen. And as I said, I felt stress in their back and then a nervous stomach. I saw a sphinx with an R below it and an X above it. And I wasn't pulling together what that was, so if somebody picks up something from that, let me know. The sphinx with an R below and an X above. So there's divine timing and the divine triangle, so it might have to do with Atlantis, but I'm not sure. And Mother Mary definitely came up again. For the divine masculine to meditate and clear. It's that the divine masculine is now awake to the ways of the reversed Queen of Wands, that negative, that dark energy, Dark Mother energy, and now able to identify light from dark, God or source from shadow. feeling bad about what he's done or his immaturity in how he dealt with the situation. That he felt like he was protecting the wrong one, and now trying to find peace with it. But definitely see him taking the steps to walk away and understanding the reasons for the way things happened, knowing that it was divine intervention, or it was orchestrated by the divine. It kind of allowed him to open up more at home and leave the past behind. Okay. And also his psychic abilities, allowing them to germinate more at work, and know that he is loved. And kind of what came up again was the, 1, 2, buckle my shoe, 3, 4, shut the door. So he's getting everything in order to leave. He needs to get past the dark mother, like him feeling the need to protect. Okay. And the North Star, seeing the light without seeing the negative and surprises, like the unforeseen. Don't expect the worst. And again, open their heart and walk through the fire. Don't avoid the fire. Walk through the fire into the light to start fresh. Okay? So what I did for the cards today was, instead of my usual read, and this is something I've done for myself before, but I've never done it for the collective twins, and it was to just ask the Divine Masculine 5 questions. And I'll pull some more cards for you as well. And then there's a backstory. So the first question I ask is, what do you want the Divine Feminine to know? What do you want the Divine Feminine not to know? The third question is, what do you want from the Divine Feminine? The fourth question is, what do you want the Divine Feminine to do today? And the last one was, how do you feel about the Divine Feminine? Okay? So the first question again, and I'll pull some clarifiers as well, was, what do you want the Divine Feminine to know? And these, all 4 cards came out. Okay, so we have the Temperance card, the 10 of Pentacles, the Death card, and the Page of Swords. So it's showing him finding balance at home with the slow death. At least it's like he's being patient with the death of his family, to make sure he's trying not to hurt anyone. So it takes him a long time. He's trying to be patient with everybody, but he wanted the Divine Feminine to know. And I felt like that was pretty clear. That he's being patient and balanced. It's really important for the Divine Masculine to be balanced. Around family and family legacy. That there's a lot of people involved. Parents, grandparents, kids, dogs. Okay? That it's a slow death, but it is moving forward. And in this card, you'll see the Death card. The Death card is moving toward a religious leader. Okay. It could be referencing God. And there's like children watching. The horse has walked over one dead body. And then there's 2 kids there. The one kid is just praying that, everything's okay, and the other one's like, oh, do we have to do this again? I just thought that was really funny. And there's 2 towers in the background. of this death card, with the sun behind the towers. So the sun is coming up. You just can't see it yet. Okay? And then here's the Page of Swords. Okay? The Divine Masculine wanting to give you at least a little bit of information, okay, about what's going on. Then the second question is, what does the Divine Masculine not want the Divine Feminine to know? And we got the Three of Wands. So the Three of Wands is usually seen as waiting for his ships to come in, but in this picture there are no ships. It's just the open waters, you know, the calm emotions. He's opening his heart. There's still a wall there, but it's short. It's not very big. There's still a wall blocking his emotions, but you can see the water and it's calm. So that's very good. But because and Spirit's connecting with me, but because he's still feeling insecure about it, he doesn't want anyone to know, because it's like he's afraid it'll jinx it, or he'll get scared again, you know, and he'll go back in his shell again. And the backstory has to do with, you know, his family and his emotional well-being, you know, and if they have any kids. He's opening his heart to knowing what it is to be completely happy, to feel at peace. That's what he doesn't want you to know, because that shows his vulnerability. What does he want from the Divine Feminine? Today's energy, the Two of Cups. That was really beautiful. That's funny because I got a, it looks like he's mixing drinks. He wants to have a drink with the Divine Feminine. And Archangel Michael will be watching over it. So the backstory of that is, what does he want from you? Or the Divine Feminine? And the backstory to the Two of Cups coming together is justice and truth. This is what he wants from you. He wants complete balance and fairness, and you know, equal distribution and truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. He's saying he gives up his crown for you. And there were lots of winds on that crown. What does he want you to do today? The Six of Cups. Okay, this is the twins in their innocence. Okay, he wants you to be that innocence. The Six of Cups is about, you know, fond memories of the past, and not to look at the bad parts of the past, but just to see the purity and the innocence and the sharing and the flowers. And that they're about to cross that bridge. They just kind of need to introduce themselves to each other again, and then they can cross the bridge. The backstory to this, what he wants you to do today, is the Ten of Wands, the Queen of Wands, and the Empress. He wants you to clear Dark Mother. Okay? This is about him, alright, and all of the weight of the world upon his shoulders because of the Dark Mother energy in his karmic and in his mother. And he wants you to focus on clearing that as well, and to help him clear that energy. Okay? About the karmic manipulating them and controlling them, and making them work really hard for them so that they can do what they want. Okay? That you see in the Empress card that the heart is actually detached from her. It's put out there for everyone to see, like they're this wonderful person, but it really isn't even connected to her. This is the energy he wants help clearing. And he wants you to clear as well. Today. What do you want the Divine Feminine to do today? Work on your inner child and clear dark mother energies. Okay? And it's like relationships based on sexuality and control and manipulation. And then the last question is, how do you feel about the Divine Feminine? And we got the Queen of Swords. And I know what you're thinking, but you have to wait. So he's seeing the Divine Feminine as trying to express her truth, because, you know, she's got a little bit of a shell on herself. She feels hurt. But if you see the backstory, look at how he sees you and him. This is how he sees you. And he saw you as the Queen of Swords, which is the King of Swords' true partner. And this is how he sees you. So if that's how he sees you and you're his true partner, look at what's wrong with what he's seeing in himself. So you get it? He's seeing himself as very logical and cold, but he sees you as very abundant and warm. But he knows that he's done this to you. Okay? But that's because you're his partner and you're like him. And then the bottom of the deck is right next to that, facing the Queen, is the Page of Wands with the broken heart and his childish ways, in his excitability, in his immaturity, in that sense. With his broken heart, he knows, well, it was over here like this. He knows that he broke your heart. Okay? So I thought that was a really divine reading. I am going to pull a couple more cards for you. First from the Tarot of Sexual Magic. That's this deck here. Tarot of Sexual Magic. Clear. 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 Okay. And this is for all the twins. Okay. Divine Feminine and Divine. Actually, we'll do one for each. For the Divine, the Organic, True Divine Twin Flames. Aww. It's my favorite card. Three of Pentacles. That's the card that came up for the Divine Feminine. To feel loved. This card was also coming off the deck. Okay, at the full moon. That someone's trying to wake somebody else up. To be loved. And then for the Organic Divine Masculine, the Organic Divine Masculine Twin Flames. What is the card for the Divine Masculine Twin Flames? Organic Divine Masculine Twin Flames. What is the card for the Organic Divine Masculine Twin Flames? Okay? This is the, some say it's the mental connection with no physical one. It could just be, you know, feeling at a distance. But this card was coming off the deck as well, which is the Star card. Okay, like the Dream Girl. That he's feeling the distance from his Dream Girl. You know, can be an Aquarian energy, but I'm not calling it Aquarian because I'm doing this for a lot of different people, and it's not everyone's an Aquarian twin, okay? So this is more about the general energies. It's about dreams and his dream girl and feeling separated. So actually for both, it's really loving. And then for the, in the numerology deck, sorry, this deck's old, so it's hard to shuffle it. All right, what's for the Divine Feminine? We got number 9, which is completion. It's all purple. So that's, you know, third-eyed crown. It's number 9. It's about endings and universal selflessness, compassion, completion. So for the Divine Feminine, you're being urged to use your intuition and get out of your karmic situations, okay? And then for the Divine Masculine, the organic Divine Masculine twin flames, what is the advice is also purple, spirituality 77. It's all purple, just like the other card. And that's funny because now the completion card's on the bottom of the deck. So this is for the Divine Masculine. Work on your spirituality. It's, again, it's all purple. It's about third eye and crown, to practice meditating and using your intuition, 7-7, divine timing. Really beautiful. They're slightly different hues of purple, but they're both purple all the way through. Okay. So this is a little closer to 3D stuff for the Divine Feminine. Okay, that's what I'm getting. You know, to clean up their 3D stuff. And that for the Divine Masculine, it's more spiritually oriented. Okay, and now Romance Angels. I want to see in the back of the numerology deck. Looks like that. And this is Romance Angels. So for the Organic Divine Feminine Twin Flames, Organic Divine Feminine Twin Flames, what is the advice? Give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. Okay, so work on your 5D connection with your twin, or if you're in connection with them, work on it that way. Give it a chance. Be open. And this wants to come out too. Express your love. Don't be afraid to express your love. We know you're hurt, but to keep your heart open, express your love, go ahead and make the romantic gesture. Now, don't forget too, a romantic gesture doesn't necessarily mean reaching out to them in person. Expressing your love, and you have to follow your own intuition on this, your own guidance on what it's telling you to do. So you just work on your 5D connection and reach out and express your love, or express it in the 3D. So for the Organic Divine Masculine, what is the advice for the Organic Divine Masculine Twin Flames? Organic Divine Masculine Twin Flames. Whoop. Okay, and this is Deception. And this card wants to come off too. Okay. The bottom of the deck for him is Romantic Feelings. But he got Deception, which is someone is wearing a false self-mask in this relationship. Okay. So if it's him, he needs to take off his mask. And the other card is, it is safe for you to love. So he needs to get past his insecurities to know that he deserves love. You know, it's safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. So it's really saying for the Divine Masculine to take your mask off and be you. It's safe. Love is safe. That your Divine Feminine loves you. I love you. It doesn't mean that everything will be, perfect when you first come together, but you just need to be open and honest with each other and get past that so that you can then build. Doesn't mean you need to pretend that you didn't get hurt. You just need to be open and mature about the relationship, okay? Be innocent and mature at the same time. I'll pull one from the Ascension deck for each. Okay, for the Ascension deck, this is for the Organic Divine Organic Divine Feminine. Organic Divine Feminine Twin Flames. You have to excuse me, my mouth doesn't work very well. Okay, Lord Maitreya for the Divine Feminines. And Isis wanted to come out too, that's 38. But these I'm only going to read one, okay? So for the Divine Feminine, Lord Maitreya says, and it's number 30 by the way, which is the Four of Wands. Lord Maitreya is head of the Great White Brotherhood, the beings whose auras radiate the pure white of integrity and high intention, okay? So we're talking about that pure white light again, like the daisy. Drawing this card suggests it's time for you to examine every area of your life carefully and practice purity of thought, word, and deed. You're asked to be an example of right living, for your light will then draw many to the ascension way. Your reward is the peace that passes all understanding and the joy of flowing smoothly on your higher path in life. And the affirmation is, I connect with the Great White Brotherhood and radiate pure white light today. So, in order, if you want your Divine Masculine, to be this way, you need to be the example. You need to lead the way in the 5D at least, and then bring that into the 3D to show others. And that's a confirmation. You can also send white light. Use white light to heal yourself. Draw in white light in through your crown, wrap it around your heart, diffuse it out through your body and your auric layers, and send it out to your twin through your connection. Okay, when you send the light to the heart center of your twin, they will feel your energy and your love, or whatever you want to send. You can send white light, you can send pink light, green light, whatever light you want. But whatever you're feeling, send that to your twin to strengthen your connection. Okay. Now for the Divine Masculine. The Divine Masculine, what is the advice for the Organic Divine Masculine Twin Flames? Organic Masculine, Divine Masculine Twin Flames, what is the advice? Okay, we got Serapis Bay. Serapis Bay. And Earth kind of wanted to come out too, that's 14. This reads 41. 41 is the Ace of Cups. And it's a 5. It's about change, excitement, freedom. It's the 1 of independence on the inside. That focus and drive that the Divine Masculine has. That is masculine energy on the inside, pushing through that responsibility on the outside. So looking like a responsible person, but with a lot of drive. And this is that Ace of Cups energy, loving yourself first. Serapis Bay was keeper of the white ascension flame in Atlantis. So here we go with the white light again. And is now Koan of the 4th ray of harmony. So we have the 4th ray and the four of Wands, okay, and the stability. He is known as the Egyptian because he worked with Archangel Metatron. Metatron came up in the reading as well, to suffuse the Great Pyramid with cosmic wisdom energy at the time of its construction. So we're talking about sending white light to your twin too. It's the same principle, okay? In drawing this card, you're invited to stand within the white flame and feel its influence. Connect with Serapis Bey and draw this energy of wisdom, cooperation, and dedication to you. And the male person is coming to deliver mail, so he is the only master to work with the seraphim, and they will shower you with blessings as you tune into this ascension card. The affirmation is, I walk with Serapis Bey. Okay, so use that white light. That stability is good. It creates harmony. Focus and stability. Okay, and I got the Sphinx too, so maybe this relates to that in some way, the R and the X. So we'll see. Okay, so, and Metatron's working with, they're kind of like the managers of this whole thing, Metatron and Jesus, right? So stand in your white flame and feel its influence. Be wise, cooperate, and know that they are dedicated and that they're helping. So call in your masters and angels and your guides and your ETs, whoever needs to help. Don't forget to ask for them to come in. It's just being love. Okay. My past life deck. Alright. This is for the organic. This is the past life deck. For the organic divine feminine. Wisdom, and the unicorn. And actually the love life wants to come out too. Goes with my flowers. That's beautiful. So tune into your unicorn. And be wise. And see, the unicorn's white. The unicorn's the white light. But he's got a strong, sharp horn. Okay? So he can bring justice when he needs to. Be wise. And be loving. The cards are really nice today. It's very loving energy. All right. For divine masculine, organic. Divine masculine twin flames. Oop, wants to come right out. Two, actually. This one came out first. Food and hunger. And I don't know if you can see that or not. It's a piece of, a loaf of bread on top of a mug. And then leaving or travel also came out. So since it is the past life deck and the divine feminine got love life and wisdom, maybe you're supposed to recall something from a past life that taught you about love. And just noting the roses too, that rose is the highest energy flower. So to appreciate your roses. So for the divine masculine also, looking back at their past life of starvation and having to leave or having to live on your own out of a suitcase. And maybe this is really freaking out the divine masculine, that feeling that they'll starve or have no place to be. There's no place like home, right? There's that strong root chakra wound for the divine masculine about fearing the worst and fearing that they won't have money and they won't have a home and they won't have enough food. So it's very traumatic for them to have to leave behind any money or wealth they built up or a home that they worked very hard for, because they had this fear from past lives of being abandoned or being orphaned or whatever, just not having enough food. And not having anyone to rely on and having to live out of a bag, no place to call their own. So that's a very scary feeling, you know. That's one of our survival instincts. So to be gentle. And then finally, the journey of love. And this is for the organic divine masculine or divine feminine twin flames. Organic divine feminine twin flames. What is the advice? The temple. It reminds me of that dome building I told you about in my past life, with the path, the suspension bridge up to the dome building. That's what it reminded me of. And the swan was coming out as well. Look, you see the swan. The swan was dropping off the bottom as well, which is very pure and white. So for the divine feminine, you know, look at the contrast of this, of these two cards coming out together. It's like showing you. And there's in the temple, there's actually a couple there. You see the white is actually, you know, the man and the woman in the temple. So you're showing that even in the 3D, where there's all this color, and there can be dark, there's always light, okay? And that's connecting to the swan. There's always beauty within, in the light. And it's great, I love, and Spirit's connecting with me. And it's great that the temple came up, because again, that's the Four of Wands. That's the union card. And that's 59. The swan is 67, in case you're interested. I'm just going to read the temple. 59 is a 5. It's compassion and selflessness on the inside, with an exciting exterior, like someone who's fun to talk to and interesting. It's all about change and contrast, all the color in the picture. The contrast can cause the pain, but the contrast is also what makes things so beautiful. So the temple reads, the lover and the beloved meet in sacred space. They take respite from cares of the world, entering into sanctuary where only they exist. You are in need of this. Meditation, making love, connection and dance, intimacy and surrender into the moment. Your body and soul need to enter into the temple and participate in sacred ceremony. Choose to gift this to yourself. Set aside time, turn off the computer and mobile telephone, turn on music and set the lighting. Be in the present moment. Do you remember your body? Ah, yes, here it is. Can you be in its temple with presence and delight? This oracle brings guidance to take time out to smell the flowers. Savor the pleasures of life and renew your connection to the inner lover. Your sensuality wants to come out and play. You're encouraged to explore scent, touch, taste, and feeling. You are encouraged to play with color. What moves you? What brings you into connection with yourself in this moment again? Is it the wholeness of divine self-connection and sacred space? Oh, it says it is. It is the wholeness of divine self-connection in sacred space that will best nourish you now. And the poem reads, love should be given as it is received. On this day I grant you the love of 1,000 mountain streams and the pleasure of 100 bleats. From a newborn baby fawn and spirits connecting, for I too cry for love, and like the fawn, I cry with the hunger of being alive. And on this day I cry for the happiness of giving, and the warmth of receiving, and the softness of your gentle touch. It is moments like these when I smile for the someone who will always care. That's really beautiful. Okay. So you're preparing your temple. Relaxing yourself, becoming one with yourself, to ready yourself for your divine masculine. Don't be afraid to color outside the lines. And then for the divine masculine, for the organic divine masculine twin flames, what is the advice? Organic divine masculine twin flames. Organic. Oh, 2 cards. It's been a 2 kind of day. Okay, the 2 cards that came out are self-initiation. I think that's Legacy of Light. See if you can see them a little better. So self-initiation is number 12. Wisdom. And 53 is Legacy of Light. So 12 is the 3, again, of self-expression, self-initiation. And you see in this card, it's all about a lot of reds, but you see where the red's coming from. It's coming from the golden light. The golden light of the solar plexus and the Christ light. Use your light to self-initiate, express your authenticity. And then the Legacy of Light 53 is actually 53, the number is a catapult. You know, it's something sudden entering your life. And for the divine masculine wanting to create a legacy, they're creating a legacy of light. It comes in suddenly, like lightning. But this more in a more peaceful and flowing, harmonious way. So I guess I'm going to have to read both. And number 12, we'll read first. Okay, self-initiation. You're being touched, and again, this is for the divine masculine. You're being touched by a wave of your own light in motion. Can you feel the blessings and love that are flowing towards you, from within you, in an upsurging wave of love? This is your own pure divine nature. You can choose to empower another as the carrier of your own divinity, of course, and sometimes if you're not quite ready to recognize your own divine essence, this needs to be. Yet at any moment you can choose to recognize that it is you who are initiating yourself into love, that you are the being of light, the divine, that is drawing you forward into yourself. At any moment you can choose to recognize yourself. Will this be such a moment? This oracle holds a message for you. There are many teachers on this path, some humble, some wise, some great companions on your life journey, and some who will enter in and out of your life quickly, perhaps imparting a helpful word or teaching you a more challenging lesson about trusting and relying upon your own wisdom. The greatest teacher, however, is life itself. You can trust in your own experiences, and Spirit's connecting with me, and know that it's the divine spark within you, the life within you, that is the one true teacher who carries you home in awakened reunion with the divine. How easy to love, the words flow when it is right. I dare not tell you. Okay, so that's the divine masculine you guys trying to get the courage to see yourself. And then Legacy of Light reads, you are called to bear light, to carry forward the legacy of a spiritual lineage of wisdom and deep service to the earth. You're part of that spiritual lineage, a belonging that extends through generations past and generations yet to come. Honor the importance of your task, and realize that you are a light bearer, that you carry a legacy of consciousness and embodiment of light upon this earth, to share for the betterment of future generations. May the ancestors of your lineage bless you with the unconditional love and devotion as you carry the light forward now. Blessed be. This oracle says to you that you have connected more powerfully with a source of spiritual guidance and instruction that is helping you fully activate your divine life mission and purpose. It is confirmation that however you are choosing to live your life is in service to the light, whether it be obviously so to others or not, and that your personal growth and spiritual path are helping the greater human soul evolve. You're acknowledged as a jewel of light upon the earth, an important link in a heavenly chain of divine awakening. This oracle also brings confirmation, if needed, that relationship issues that are arising for you now are not only about your own personal healing, but about healing the emotional legacy of your ancestral lines. To do this, you may wish to journal, dance, or meditate, or dedicate a yoga practice to the healing of your ancestral inheritance. And ask that your own relationships be assisted through the karmic grace of your ancestors to step into more consciousness of love now. And the poem reads, I measure time in years, in memories, and good friends. Thanks for helping me to see I can count the special ones on my hand, that I can count on you. Okay, so it's all about the divine masculine learning to trust himself and his own instincts and his own knowing, and knowing where he comes from, and to help clear that ancestral past. Okay, so I hope that was helpful for everyone. Please comment and subscribe below, and if you need anything, please let me know. Have an amazing day and an amazing week, and you might want to I'm not going to say stay in for the eclipse, but just be careful of the energies, because you never know what to expect with an eclipse. Okay? So rise and be love. Take care, everyone.